mysteries grow. There is a place where nobody goes. And if you decide to go there alone, beware of the beast that makes it his own. The legends all say that a creature lives there, with gigantic feet all covered in hair. And those who have seen it just run away scared. It looks like a man that's been crossed with a bear. Deep in the unknown, far away from home, something strange just can't be explained. Be careful where you roam. Late in the night, I was on my way home, but something told me that I was not alone. Suddenly there, I was caught by surprise. The beast had appeared right before my two eyes. In front of me, there was a ginormous shape. It stood like a man, but it looked like an ape. Looking back now, I get a terrible fright. I saw the monster in the moonlight. Deep in the unknown, far away from home, something strange just can't be explained. Be careful where you roam. I'll never forget what I saw there that night. Some things you see get stuck in your mind. My brain said to run, but my body did freeze. I'll never forget the size of his feet. Deep in my soul, I had a terrible hunch that I had a date with the monster for lunch. I never found out if the hunch was correct, 'cause something occurred that I did not expect. I knew what was going on with the few giant steps. The monster was gone. Now I'm not the type to leave someone scared, but let me tell you, it's up there somewhere. All right, everybody, welcome to the ECBRO podcast for Thursday, the 23rd. All right, it's we're 8:03 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we got some viewers jumping on now. Hope you guys didn't mind tonight's little music intro. I played that just to give us a little bit of time while the audience built up. And I am gonna be looking at the live chat as I always do when we go live. So, um, as we get into our discussion, if you have any questions, it doesn't have to be related to what we're talking about, because anybody who's ever listened to me personally, I'm very random. I go from one thing to the next. Then I might come back to something that we started with. Because one way or another, a lot of questions and topics, they somewhere along the lines, there's always a connection, or there's always something that we may bring up that might remind us of what we started with. So if you have any random questions, like I said, it doesn't have to be anything that we might be talking about. Again, our open discussions that we have, anyone who's ever listened, they're very laid back, but yet, when we get into topics, we try to present our honest opinion about things. So, and I'm going to be opening up the live chat here very shortly. I'm working my way to it now. Meanwhile, right now we got Zach Sterick with us. So, we did try to get Baldemar Galvan Jr. with us tonight. However, Baldemar is at work, and he just messaged me. He's still at work, and he also included that he's been receiving more Bigfoot reports down his way in Texas. So man, I wish he could come on and share some information with us. So for those who ask about Texas, I've had a few people ask me if there's been any sightings or encounters in Texas, and depending on where you are in Texas, because a lot of the reports that Baltimore has been getting is around his general area. Baltimore is in East Texas and Beeville. Is that correct? Stack? Is it Beeville or B County?
Yeah, Beeville and B County.
Okay, which is considered East Texas according to Baltimore. So,
Southeast Texas, yeah.
okay, cool. Like I said, I know if Baltimore was able to join us, he would be able to really fill us in on more details. And wait a minute, let me go check on my messenger because I see that. All right, Dave Thundercloud. He sees the link. I sent him a link, so I don't know if he'll be able to jump on in that. So, let me message him. All right, I told him to come on. We'll see if he joins us or not. All right. Trying to find my live chat. Where is it? There we go. Yeah, it was acting a little crazy right now. Well, right now on the live chat it's showing we have Miss Brittany Anello. Hey, Brittany, how you doing? Glad that you could join us again. And I know for the other viewers, if you are listening, if you want to interact with the live chat, if you are on your phones, if you scroll down directly where you're viewing the screen, you will find the live chat below. If you are on a laptop or a desktop, the live chat is on the top right hand corner of your computer screen. So you can interact right there. You can type in or text your message or comments or questions or whatever it may be. So also, if you're viewing this, feel free to share this because the more it gets shared, the bigger the audience we have. So keep that in mind for future reference. We do appreciate when you guys do share. Um, so anyway, Zach, you were did you were you at work today?
And I just worked doing a little miscellaneous on the farm and everything. We went and we fixed up the disc mower and finally got it running. We got the bonnet back on it and that thing run like brand new today.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you had mentioned that earlier and sent me the picture of that. That's good that you guys got that going again. So
Oh yeah, I got happy feet whenever that thing took off.
okay. Uh, Yoey, if I'm saying that right, Yoey 70. Hello, said hello. Hello, Yoey.
Howdy, howdy.
All right. Um, well, there's a few things we could talk about, but we don't have to get into all of them. I know this is something we've talked about in the past, but we've been getting another reason I like to start. Enjoy starting up these podcasts again too is reaching out to a lot of people. They're not really necessarily new in the Bigfoot community, but yeah, at the same time, a lot of them might be they're new as far as to the channel um, and whatnot. Um, so yeah, some of the topics we might discuss are some that we may have covered in the past. Um, Yoey, yeah, she said she has a question. So yeah, go ahead. If you have questions, go ahead, put them in there. Um, yeah, and ask away. And both, yeah, I see that Zach is watching the live chat too, so that's cool. So if I miss something, I'm sure Zach will pick it up. Let's see, Zach. Here's a one question to start everything off. You know, um, first of all, do you believe it's necessary to prove the existence of Bigfoot? And I think we lost Zach.
You want me
Oh,
to start on that? Or are you asking me that?
yeah, since there's no one else here.
I don't know. I thought you were talking to Danielle Josephine.
Who? Oh, you
Danielle
make.
Josephine Ben, your feminine alter ego.
Oh no, you didn't.
No, yeah, I do believe it is. important that we prove that these things exist. I mean, it's not recognized as a legitimate species, but we're seeing it, and we've been seeing it. Humans have been seeing this thing for thousands of years, and yet science still refuses to recognize it as a legitimate creature.
Right.
Um, it is imperative that we prove that Sasquatch exists. Any little bit of evidence that people have kept locked up for years for fear of ridicule is instrumental in proving that Bigfoot exists. Everything is very important that we go and we do prove it. But here's the thing: what are we going to do whenever we do prove it? If and when? What next?
Yeah, that's a good point. Makes a lot of sense. Well, again, this is back to me. For those who follow me, know that I like to compare. I like to compare Bigfoot to our known primates. And with that being said, I believe it's safe to say that look, chimpanzees, gorillas, which I'm going to get into a question that was asked in the live chat very shortly. So sit tight, Yoey. Uh, so yeah, chimpanzees, gorillas, a lot of our known primates, they are a protected species. Even though there's poachers, but yeah, chimpanzees and gorillas, they are a protected species. All right. Yes, some people believe that Sasquatch could be human. Okay, that's your belief. But then again, regardless, if they are a type of primate, which I believe they are, some kind of unknown, unclassified primate, I believe they do fall in the primate field. All right. So yeah, if they were to be proven to to exist worldwide publicly, all right. So yeah, governments would have to come together and work together to put them in a protective category, protective, set something in motion, to protect the species. And then again, could that be why, if our government is ignoring or denying it, but also knowing it at the same time, could that be a good possibility why they may be not acknowledging it, for the very fact that this could really affect most of our woodlands, and right here in America, where a lot of different industries take place. For example, logging still continues to this day. There's a lot of clear cuts in the national forest that are with special permits that are taking place. There's a lot of this is still taking place now. If Sasquatch was discovered and declared an endangered species, we talked about this quite a bit in the past. So think about what could happen. What could there could be a major shutdown on a lot of things. There could be a lot of restrictions placed on whatever it may be. So yeah, to me, to prove it, to have them proven would be, I believe it's necessary to protect them and also their own homelands, because with a lot of the login and a lot of this, yeah, we're forcing them out, to move around. We're forcing them out of their home. What's going to happen if we continue to force them out of their home? They're going to find limitations on habitat. You know, Food sources could become, through a period of time, eventually become scarce. And that's going to cause, a species that is so quiet and elusive right now to become maybe more. I'm thinking this is me. This is just me thinking. I believe there's a possibility that it could become um, an aggressive being. We don't know. That's just the way I'm looking at it and thinking right offhand. So, um, so yeah, I think we do. I believe. I mean, this is, of course, it's not up to me. I'm nobody, but I believe there should be a limitation on how we maintain our woodlands and our own, and forests. So, but that's just me. I do want to get to this question right here, real quick. If gorillas, chimps, and orangutans can't speak, but Bigfoot can articulate words, would that make them? Hold on, I just jumped screen. Would that make them not an animal? What are your thoughts on that? Well, the thing is, if they can make out words, whatever, we don't know that. All right, that there, I don't know that. Um, I have no, I don't know of anything that speaks for that. Um, or I don't know if you're familiar with anything about that, Zach, because I mean, as far as I know, I don't. There's some people that claim they can understand language. Um, that I don't know. Tracy Arnold just messaged me. However, again, if we were to compare chimpanzees, gorillas, and orangutans, we know that they have the intelligence to be taught how to use sign language using their hands, gestures, physical body gestures. So, um, I'm trying. Hold on, the screen's rolling off, and I'm trying to stay looking at focus as a question. So, what's my thoughts on that? Um, thing is, chimpanzees, gorillas, and orangutans, they're considered primates. So is, according to science, we're considered primates. You have, your non-human primates and your human primates. So I don't know. But as far as them making out words and everything like that, I don't know. That's new to me. If that's been proven, I don't know. I don't. I personally don't see how that could have been proven if the existence hasn't been proven yet. So,
Well, here's the
so
thing, and at the conference, Ron Moorhead brought this up, where that cryptid linguist believed he decoded the Sierra sounds whenever he
yeah,
slowed it down, and he
Scott
found
Nelson.
articulate. Yeah, Scott Nelson. He went and he found articulated words in the Sierra sounds whenever he slowed it down. I
Yeah,
believe
so
that they would have a language all their own, but still, I mean, other animals have their own little like language that they use. They have their own little sounds they make. They have their own little code that only they can understand. Whether it's birds, canines, felines, etc. They all have their own little way of communication.
yeah. Um, let's see. Have you ever thought maybe the approach were created? They see. All right. Here's a question. Um, have you ever thought? All right. Have you ever thought maybe that's why national parks were created? They seem to be seen in national parks and conservation lands. Just a question. Teddy Roosevelt wrote of an. Yeah, I'm familiar with that. That's actually very cool. But yeah, these national parks, you're right, they are protected lands. A lot of them are protected, and right here in the state of Virginia, the Shenandoah National Park, which is all part of the Blue Ridge Mountains, it's protected forest, and there's been a lot of reports along that area. Now, however, there's been a lot of sightings in the national forest, which it's public land, and hunting is also allowed there. All right, so um, I think it really depends on where they feel, where the species feels comfortable, where it wants to inhabit. But um, so yeah, they are. I mean, they are seen in various locations, but um, perhaps the intelligence, like even the deer. Here's a good example. Right here in Virginia, if anyone's ever traveled to Skyline Drive, which is a strip of the Blue Ridge Mountains that runs through Virginia, you can get up there and travel along, and you can see a lot of wildlife. All right, all right, hold on. Baltimore is calling in through my phone. Hold on one second. Hello? Hello? All right, I'm not hearing Baltimore. I picked up, but he's not answering. All right, I don't know what happened there. All right, Zach, you still there? Hello?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I had Baltimore try to call in through my phone. That's why I don't know if I got disrupted or not. Um, yeah. So, but yeah, what I was getting at, here's the example. Um, on Skyline Drive, you could encounter a lot of deer up there. And what's cool about it is you can get close to these deer. I've been within a couple of feet of deer on numerous occasions up there. These are deer that inhabit this area and that know the area very well. As much people tend to visit these locations, a lot of these deer do not feel threatened because, again, yeah, the deer, it's the instinct, they know that they are protected. And so, why I believe it's safe to say a lot of other species like Sasquatch. probably know the same thing. If that's where they hang out, and spend most of their time, there's a great abundance on these national parks. A lot of the deer, there's a great abundance of wildlife up there, so they have plenty of food sources. And then everything else. So yeah, I believe that's a good thing. Safe to say that they're smart and they know the area. And yeah, okay. You always say, yeah, people have heard them speak dog names and people names before.
I've heard
Um,
that. I'll attest to that. I've had that happen before.
yeah, I mean, I just can't say I've heard it, but Brittany's asking, do you think that Bigfoot is capable of building a fire? I once was told that if they were any bit of human, they would have that knowledge. Because according to what we see growing up, what we learn, if we're looking at them as a caveman, whatever they developed that knowledge. But but then again, I don't know. Um, I don't know about that one. I personally, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think they are. Because if they were able to build a fire, I think we'd be having a lot more random fires and a lot more forests being burnt down. I don't know. That's just me though. I know, but
I
uh,
think they're capable of it. I mean, if we are looking at the relic hominid side of it, a lot of people they believe that they could be a descendant of Homo heidelbergensis, which was discovered in Heidelberg, Germany. Back, I believe they found a mandible back in the 1800s. Some people believe that they are a descendant of Homo heidelbergensis that migrated from Europe to Asia, where the earliest reports of Bigfoot would have been recorded in the Himalayan mountains and and all over Asia. Um, I believe that they would have developed the knowledge of how to make tools and how to use fire because, especially right there in the Himalayan mountains, the winters are unbearable. So they have to really not have a knowledge of the resources and they have to um, learn how to use fire to keep themselves warm, especially if they're held up in a cave out of the elements.
yeah. Kelly Broadbent said, talking about the fire, we would smell deer steaks in the woods all the time. That's funny. Yoey said, hell, if you make them mad enough, if they knew how to build a fire, they would burn your house down. LOL. You never know. So,
That's a scary thought.
yeah. Yeah, I just think if they were capable of building fires, I think things would be more. I think the forest would get out of hand. Um, then again, I don't know. I mean, wouldn't people report seeing random fires of something unknown making fires in the woods? I mean, you know, wouldn't the forest rangers report investigate seeing smoke coming out of the middle of the woods where they know it should be primitive camping? I mean, where there's camping or fires ain't allowed because a lot of times if the forest rangers that roam a lot of these state parks and stuff, I know state parks alone, there's no open fires allowed. So if there is a smoke coming from these areas, they have to investigate. So I would think that if Sasquatch, if they're that intelligent, like a lot of us believe they are, wouldn't that make them kind of stupid? Say, hey, look, here's my smoke signal. Come find me. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So
Well, you gotta factor in though, where a lot of these people that go and they report Sasquatch being seen in these national parks to these rangers, how that fast they shut those areas of the park down. What if they know that they are building fires and they go in there and they find sign of Sasquatch and they just not saying nothing?
well, that's them. But what about us? For those who of us that spend a lot of time in these woods, I mean, if they're building fires, wouldn't we have picked up on something like that over a period of time?
Probably, Probably just not going deep enough.
Well, I can see that, but overall, Jack, I'm looking at things in a very logical sense. I mean, I'm trying to get this critical thinking, but you know, um, I'm not trying to make excuses on top of excuses, but so well, hmm, I don't know. It's interesting. Uh, yeah, yeah, we said they wouldn't be able to hide long with fire. Well, yeah, that's true. That's. I mean, that's what I was saying. You know, um, I guess during the hunting season, for those of the hunters that do get in the woods and travel in when they hunt, and or the hikers that like to go on long, deep mile hikes, I mean, they would have to put their fire out quick and piss on it quick. you know,
Hmm.
what if the fire get out of hand? How is the Sasquatch going to take care of that? Do they have that knowledge to put that out? So um, do they keep a bucket of water with them? There's a lot of things that if we're gonna get into that, I mean, we could look at the other side of things. The logical point of view, logical view on things, but I don't know that. I mean, that was actually an interesting whole thing that got brought up, which I found that that's actually good though. Um, all right, what do we got here? I had some other things written down, but I like it when we get questions because questions on the live chat actually bring up pretty interesting
Here's
things.
one. There's one that just popped up. Brittany said, "Do you think that Bigfoot can swim?" Yeah,
Yeah, why
there's
not?
been there's been reports of Bigfoot swimming to Vancouver Island up in British Columbia for a long time.
Yeah, hold on 1 second. I got Baltimore on the phone. Hey, Baltimore. Not bad, not bad. Where you at? You at work? Oh, okay. No, we're doing. Me and Zach are doing a live podcast. No, no, you're fine. You're fine. How long is it gonna be till you get home? What's that? Okay. Hey, is there any way you could get on through? I'll send you the link. Could you join in through the link through your phone? Okay. All right. Let me hang up and I'll send you the link. All right. Bye bye. Okay. Baltimore just got off of work, and all right, and I'm gonna send him the link while he's driving home from work. Um, he's gonna join us, so I gotta copy and paste the link again. So everybody, just sit tight, bear with me. Let me get Mr. Baltimore up here. All right. All right. Let's see what we got. What am I missing on the live chat? All right. The question was about them swimming. Yeah, like you say, I
Yeah,
know this.
Brittany.
Yeah, like you mentioned, Zach. What you mentioned about the reports, right, of people seeing them in the water.
Yeah, people saying that they've seen him in the water fishing.
Yeah,
Up there around Kinnick, Alaska, uh, the Cook Inlet. There's been reports of a Bigfoot that swims around in the inlet, and it's seen more in the water than it is on land.
yeah. One thing I'm thinking about now. Some known primates are able to swim. However, I believe like chimpanzees. I'm going to use the chimpanzee for example. A chimpanzee can't swim. They will sink like a rock. Now, I'm not saying they won't get in the water, but there is there is some primates that will emerge to go underneath the water. However, an animal species like the chimpanzee, because their body mass, their muscle mass, they have basically, this is not an accurate estimation, but this is very close. They're basically about 85 to 90% muscle mass versus the rest of the percentage on body fat. A chimpanzee has very little to almost very none no body fat. The body fat in a human is what causes us or allows us to have that floating capability. So So that's one thing that you could keep in mind. Chimpanzee. The gorillas, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know much about gorillas. I'm assuming it's basically almost the same concept. Of course, they are built differently than a chimpanzee. They're much bigger, larger. They look like they may have more muscle, but yeah, at the same time, they actually may have some more body fat compared to a chimpanzee. So a Bigfoot, yeah, I think a Bigfoot, yeah. Um, you know, if they're anything related, they may be muscle mass like more of a gorilla, but so and of course, hold on, yeah, Zoe's bringing up about the Mark Zasky's work. Yeah, I'm familiar with. I heard something about him having a Bigfoot underneath the water, in a video, which I don't know. I think I need to look at that one. I don't know. I think someone showed me that, and um, I'm not sure if I was familiar. I don't know. I'll have to look at it again. If I seen it, apparently then it didn't really leave a lasting memory on me because it might have been something I didn't really go for. I don't know, but I'll have to I'll have to look that up. Uh, uh, Orangutans don't like water. Oh, okay. Look at all that long, shaggy hair they got. They probably don't like getting their hair wet.
What's your excuse?
I don't mind. Hey, my hair's. I'm letting my hair grow out on my head. You can't tell because I brush it straight back right now. But when I get a
Call me
haircut,
Flip. We'll be calling you Raft.
yeah, when I cut my hair, I only get it cut on the sides and in the back, and let the top keep growing. That way, when it grows out long enough, it'll start falling down. So, um, let's see, who's this? Simple. uh, I thought that
Simple
was part of.
name.
I thought that was actually part of the question. It's their name, their YouTube name. Simple's asking, do you think there are Sasquatch in Nevada? Nevada. I'm trying to think of the layout of the land of Nevada.
Desert mountains, a lot of forest.
Yeah, wait a minute. Hasn't there been reports in Nevada? I mean, I don't think you really
Some
hear much of
Sierras.
the Sierra. Yeah, because you get is that where the Sierra sounds came from? Then
No, Sierras sounds come from California.
California, the Sierra
But the
Mountains.
Sierra,
Okay.
if my geography is correct, Nevada is right next door to California, and the Sierra Mountains cross the state line.
Okay. Hmm. Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying there's not going to be none because I mean, I'm just not familiar with the Nevada. I mean, um, yeah. Simple said yes. Sierra also is still in Nevada. So, uh, exactly. Okay. Uh-huh. Okay. So, you
But I
know,
think that was it.
no,
Didn't the case where Justin Smeha said he saw the Bigfoot, wasn't that in Nevada or was that California?
uh, I don't know. California, wasn't it?
It was California side of the Sierras, yeah.
Yeah. Um, yeah.
I was
So,
I was watching today while we was taking a break from work and on the disc mower I was watching Monster Quest and it was talking about the Sierra Sasquatch. There has been reports in the Sierra Mountains in Nevada
right.
of Bigfoot.
Yeah. So, I mean, if they're coming from California, I mean, whatever what side they're on, whatever. I mean, we know there's been a lot of reports out of there. So, I mean, eh, every known species that walks and roams this earth moves around. I mean, yeah, we're humans. Before we had cars, we traveled on foot and on horseback or whatever it may have been. So, and we know that every species roams and moves around. So, I think it's safe to say that, look at the mountain lion, look at the wolves. Some of them have been reintroduced to some locations where they were once known to exist and they became extinct or just died out over a period of time. Well, same thing as extinct. But then again, from other locations, some have actually migrated back into some of these areas. So, you know, and that goes with the question when a lot of people ask, this is I know this is random, but where people ask about, do you think Bigfoot migrates? Well, yeah.
Yep.
So, just like any other species, they got to move around during the seasons. They're going to move where, just like deer and any other animal, when the seasons become cold, when the winters come along, food changes, the food sources change big time. And the deer and all the known animals are going to move where the water goes, where the food sources go. And the squatches, the your apex predators are going to follow the smaller prey. So it only makes sense. Um, see, I now watch all Bigfoot sightings on YouTube. I could find for the past week. Brittany's asking, do you believe the hair that you will be getting tested is Bigfoot hair? I'm going to be honest with you. Um, I can't say I wanted to be Bigfoot hair. Yeah, the hair that we will be getting tested, I wanted to be Bigfoot hair. With some of the comparisons that others have, like Kelly Shaw that I shared last night on our podcast last night. Kelly Shaw has hair that he had sent off to one lab, and they were not able to get it identified. It came back as unknown, and he was told to reach out to other universities and other experts. And so Oxford University and Idaho State University, I mean, these other universities with these labs, couldn't find results either. So I hope that's when Kelly was comparing his to mine, how he said the texture looks similar. I mean, I want to believe that could be a good sign. Um, so, but the thing is, even if it comes back, if the results come back unknown, that's going to be awesome. That's going to be exciting. But at the same time, that's not going to tell us nothing. So, but they're only going to do DNA testing. This is for any hair samples, anything that's when it comes to hair. The first thing they're going to do is put it on the microscope, and if it's anything known, they're going to be able to identify it right then and there. But if it becomes, like I said, if it's unrecognizable, if they can't identify it, then they're going to go pursue and go up through the other steps. So I'm trying to keep up with all these questions on here. um, yeah, I'm in Virginia and Zach is in Illinois. Um, Yo, he said he's in, oh, you must be talking about, yeah, Mark Zaski. He's in Florida. Uh, here's an interesting question. Do you think people vanishing in parks partly is due to Bigfoot? I, Zach, that's an interesting question that they ask because I've often thought about that too. I know there's a series of books by what's his name, Paul Pilates, whatever the Paul Pilates, and I think about that a lot because I know even here in Virginia there's been missing people reports, and, people gone and they seem to be missing. I don't see why that's not possible. I think that's very possible, to be honest with you. But then again, we don't know. I mean, we have no proof that Bigfoot is taking them, even though there's been reports and stories of people being kidnapped and surviving, and they have their stories like the Osmond case. But oh, hello, cryptos, hang out. Great to have you on board. Do you ever think there are Bigfoots in the Everglades? Well, you got the skunk apes. Yeah, skunk apes. They are called. Yeah, you're right, yo. The skunk apes.
Mayaca State Park, best place to find them.
Yeah, check out. Yeah, uh, what's the crew that hangs out there? That researches that area. It's oh my goodness, David Lauer, and his group. Stacy, Stacy Brown, David Lauer. They research a lot of those areas down there. So yeah, definitely. If you definitely have any questions about the Florida area, they actually are a very incredible Bigfoot research team down in Florida. So anybody, if you're down there in Florida and you want to reach out to they have a lot. They have. Um, I personally believe they have a lot of credibility. Um, with what they found. I mean, Stacy Brown alone, him and his father's got some pretty incredible thermal footage that it seems pretty legit that, as far as we know. Um, David Brower, excuse me, David Lauer, um, has some pretty good information. He had a reenactment video that he did with a comparison of some footage that he got with a subject that was up on a hill. Um, they have come across several tracks. So, um, so yeah, I'm trying to remember the name. They have a name for their Bigfoot group. It's the Miyaka Sasquatch Research Team or something like that. I'll have to look it up. I can't think of it right offhand, which kind of bums me. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yogi said they live close to me, Mayaka. So, hold on. And yes, I have Bigfoot encounters, and I know Zach has. So,
Mm-hmm. Some
um,
more violent than others.
all right, hold on. Let me. Some of these I think went by too quick here, real quick. Uh, Now, forgive me if we don't get to all these questions because there's a lot of good questions popping up here. Brittany's asking, how do Bigfoot stay hidden for people?
They're masters of their domain.
Yeah, they're smart.
They're smarter than what we give them credit for.
They keep their distance. And the other thing too, a lot of people believe when you go into the woods that you could be being watched. Probably a very good chance. I'm gonna say I believe that 90% of the time you're being watched by something. You know, um, sometimes that percentage might be the full 100%, but I believe at least 90%. I believe it's safe to say you're being watched by something. I don't care what it is, but if Sasquatch is right there within feet of you, um, correct me if I'm wrong, Zach, but I believe 90%. Most of the time that you're not going to. He can be 10, 20 feet in front of you, and you will never know it. Um, and that's where I throw that comparison up there again for anyone who's familiar with primatologists who habituate and who study gorillas and chimpanzees in the wild and right up close have observed this numerous times. They could disappear. They could step right in front of a bush or in their foliage and be gone and not within view. But that, at the same time, they're still there 10 to 20 feet in front of you. So, I mean, that's their, yeah, Zach said it. Zach could, he couldn't have said it any better. They're master of disguise. They're master of their environment. I mean, it's natural for them. You know, deer. I believe deer are the same way. I walked up on deer and never knew they were deer. There because they blend in so good with their natural environment. So, yep, yeah, you're right. Simple. Their camouflage abilities are crazy. I was personally. I can't speak for everyone else. Okay. Um. Were you paralyzed? Not honestly, it was. I didn't know how to
Well,
describe
you
it.
make it sound you sound like a little kid
What are you talking about?
whenever you and Tracy goofed and didn't take your night vision out.
Yeah. Well, that was afterwards. That was when we got back to camp. That's when we realized that. But the thing is, during the whole situation, yeah, it was actually very exciting. Well, could it have been a different feeling if one of us was alone? If it was just me, you know, because I don't know. I really don't know what it would have been like if I was alone and that happened. But to see what we saw. But like I said, there were six of us when we had an encounter. It was actually exciting, and then when we come to realize what we were looking at, the thought got a little more serious, and I think I was. I don't know. It was mesmerizing, but I wouldn't say I was paralyzed. So, um, would be like the fears like no other. No, let's see. Zach, here's a question. I'll let you answer this one. Uh, Because I mean, basically, my encounter was the one I'm talking about was a memorable experience. But what has been your most memorable experience with Bigfoot in your research?
Hmm. Honestly, I have to say it was the night I got chased out of the woods.
Mm.
The night I actually had to call for backup.
Wasn't that when a large stick or tree, part of a tree, came flying out at you? Was that same
That
one?
was when the big tree come down nearby me.
Wow.
And
Huh.
I looked back at that big oak tree. It was a big white oak, and
Yeah.
that tree was at least, I want to say, maybe 3 or 4 feet around in diameter.
Wait, how big around?
Uh, 3 or 4 feet in diameter.
Oh, okay, okay. Huh.
And
Wow.
it was a tall one too.
Man, actually, I remember you have a. Who did that cartoon illustration of you? Did you do that, or did somebody else do that for you?
The one where the one was chucking the tree at me.
Yeah. Who did that
That
one
was
for you?
James Lowe.
That was actually a good illustration. You know what? If you ever get on
That's
another radio
exactly
show,
what it was like too.
you need to use that picture for next radio show you go on, so they can use that as you telling that story. That's a good illustration right there.
Yeah, James Lowe is my sketch artist. I go to if I get handed a report. I go to him if I get a description of the creature. I take it to him, and he works his magic on it. And he's
Yeah.
done a lot of good stuff for me in the past, and I recommend him to a lot of people if they have an encounter and if they want if we want to get an image of the description that they're giving us, we go to James Lowe, and he's our sketch artist.
Yeah. Hold on one second. There's something I'm gonna try to find to pull up. This one right here. Yep, exactly what I want right here. See if I can expand it. There's an image I want to pull up for a very good reason. It's from an old T-shirt that I've done, and I don't know if it's gonna allow me to do this or not. But all right, it's not gonna let me expand it. Let me back up here. All right, I'm gonna do a screen share, and I don't know how well everyone will be able to see this. All right, see the image of the Sasquatch right here.
Uh,
All right, all right, all right. In this image, the eyes are red, but there's one that I designed where I turned the eyes yellow. And what I did when I did this here, I mean, everyone's familiar with this design. A lot of people use this on a lot of logos and everything. Well, this one here, I had taken this one. This is for a shirt a few years back. You know, Tracy Arnold actually has a couple of these. Um, but yeah, I changed the eye color to yellow, and that there was basically representing our encounter. So yeah, when we had our encounter, we had three of them, which we believe was a family unit, and they all had the same color eye shine too. So very large, yellowish, glowing looking eyes, which was reflected off the headlamps that we had. So, but yeah, that's what I want to show this here, because this here, even looking at this, reminds me of what we were what we were looking at. So yeah, that was basically why that was what that was for right there. So yeah,
that's cool.
yeah, yeah. Here's another one of my. Hold on, let me see if it pulls up. Oh, it won't let me do it because I'm on another screen. Here's another one of my designs right here. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. Do I have a video of our sighting? Oh, of any
Cliff
sighting?
Stanley
No.
does.
Yeah, Cliff Stanley has the video of when we were having our encounter, but on the video,
I've seen the video, and I will attest. It's in the beginning of it, and it's a very split second, but you can see eye shine in the video. You just gotta know where to look, and it's up in the right corner.
yeah, like it depends on how he has the camera because I have to go back and look at that because in the video footage, I try to look at it very carefully, and it's bright and yellow, and bright of what we saw. I mean, it showed so clear and so good in person, but I didn't know he was filming our situation, our encounter at the time. So, yeah, it can be found on YouTube. I believe I have it on. I think I have it on my playlist, on one of my playlists, or under one of my liked videos. Um, it's actually look up Cliff Stanley on YouTube, and you should be able to find it under his or do a Google, YouTube search. Look up Cliff Stanley, Bigfoot, or Cliff Stanley with the ECBRO, and our video should show up. So, um, tell you what, let me see if I can try something here. I'll give me a second. I'll find it for you. I'll copy and paste it in the live link. Um, let's see. All right. Alrighty, where's it at? Where's it? Ah, here it is, right here. Yeah, because he has. All right, he has in the video. He does an enhancement on the second part of it. So let me copy the link. All right. Let me come back to the live chat. All right, there it is. It is now in the live chat. That is the iShine video. Um, that Cliff Stanley had taken when that was back during our 2014 E.C.B.R.O. camping expedition, one of our Bigfoot expeditions, and we had a very interesting night all together that night. But you know, I'm gonna tell you, is just if you guys could make out the eye shine, awesome. I know even Fred said he has seen the eye shine, but there were we had three subjects in the video. But the thing is, it happened after midnight, so you're not gonna see a Bigfoot in the video, unfortunately, which sucks because in person, out of the three subjects, there was the tallest one, which was, or we estimated to be 8 foot tall. He was the only one, and I say he because I believe they were a family unit, of, like a mother, father, and a young juvenile. Because the juvenile was about 4 foot tall, 4 or 5 foot tall. Well, the tallest subject that was about 8 foot tall, what we saw out of that one there, we saw a little bit more than eye shine with that one. We seen the silhouette of the head and the broadness of the shoulders as it actually turned to the side and took a step or two, and it looked back at us and continued staring at us and blinking. They are blinking their eyes. The smallest one, the youngest one, that's the first thing we seen when we first came up to this location where we spotted it. The smallest one was swaying side to side. It was the only one that was really moving around. The smallest one was swaying side to side. And even till this day, the more I think about it, it sounds like typical primate behavior, like a swaying chimpanzee or orangutan just swaying this side to side in a, just kind of curious motion, But so I don't know. It was a very interesting night. Brittany said, "Do you think a Bigfoot would attack a person?" That's a good
Yep,
question.
yep, yep, yep.
I think, yeah, if I believe if it was aggravated or forced to, or maybe to protect like a mother bear, right? I mean, what do you think, Zach? As far as what would trigger them to attack a person?
That sucker will go and react just like any animal. If you get too close to its young, or you just piss it off.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but
Because they
I don't.
will react.
Right. I mean, so yeah, so yeah, they would have to have a reason because a lot of the stories we hear, and even some of the reports that I've gathered, you know, um, a couple of these reports, even Tracy Arnold's report, his sighting that he had a few years ago, he was he estimated about 24 feet away. All right, and even with the report that I got up here from a gentleman that happened a long time ago, he was 5 feet from this squatch, and they just stared, they eyeballed each other till one or the other took off. So I don't see they're just they don't want to be seen. They're just but they get stuck in that caught off guard where they're like, crap. I've been spotted or I've been seen. So then again, they may have. I believe the squatches are curious too. Like, oh, okay, so this is what a human looks like. Vice versa. It's kind of like that movie. I can't wait to see that movie, Smallfoot. Have you seen the trail to Smallfoot? That's gives me, it makes you think about how a Sasquatch they might react or what they're thinking about when they see a human. So, yeah. Um, small videos seen only one was an attack of a Sasquatch. Oh, okay. He's saying that at Brittany. Simple said, "I want to go Sasquatch exploring." Where do you live, Simple? Where do you live? Depending on where you live, between me and Zach, we might know somebody in your area or a group that we could kind of maybe hook you up with or direct you to anyway.
Oh, Germany.
Oh, is that where they're from? Germany. I don't
Howdy,
know.
I'm of German descent. Well,
uh,
guten Tag.
all right. Here's a stupid question. What part of Germany? Where is? I can't think of the. I don't have a globe in front of me, so I don't. Well, what's Germany near? I can't think of nothing right now. What's the surrounding country, the surrounding areas in that over there? I don't even know what. I never heard of any reports out of Germany. I don't know. What about you? I can't recall
I
ever
know
hearing
they're
any.
out of Europe and everything, but I never heard of one in Germany specifically.
Right. Germany. Yeah, that's a good one. I'll have to do something. Oh, okay. They said they got the Alps. Hmm. Yeah, very possible. I'm not. Yeah, I'm. Okay, Switzerland. Okay, Switzerland. Okay. Um. Yeah, I have never done no Google search for that area. I mean, that's something to look up. You can definitely go online to do some search for that. You might find a group that might be dedicated to exploring, and something unknown or anything like that. Honestly, I just can't think of anybody that may be over there, that does anything like that. Um, I know, like over in Romania, I know they got stories of creatures over there. Of course, they got the legend of the werewolf. um, then you got
Boy, you'd fit right in.
Lord have mercy.
They'd be trying to shoot you with a silver bullet.
Right, especially I got the beard grown back into. Yeah, forests are rare in Europe. I do got friends in the UK. I know me and Zach. We know people in the UK. Um,
I know
well,
quite a few people in the UK.
yeah. We actually one of our speakers for the event next year is coming out from the UK. Actually, London. No, excuse me, Yeah, London, Britain. Yeah, Britain, because he's from London. I guess Britain's in London, vice versa, whatever. I don't keep up with all that, but yeah, he's Mr. Andy McGrath, which is the author of The Beast of Britain. So LEMLM. Hi, by the way. Oh, okay. I know a researcher in Germany, but I don't know if he's still involved. His YouTube channel is Bigfoot in Germany. Oh, that is actually pretty simple. Simple. uh, I made it funny. um, interesting. Hey, you guys have some great questions tonight. I want to remind you if you guys are around tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, well, it's 9 p.m. now. So this same time tomorrow, right now, if you look at your clocks, it's 9 p.m. Eastern Time now. Tomorrow night, a lot of you guys probably don't know Mr. Sam DeLoach. He lives down in I think his address is Tennessee, but I don't know if he's still on the Virginia side or not. But anyway, he had asked me to do a YouTube show tomorrow, where it's just going to be me and him. So I think we're going to get into some topics, and we're going to basically discuss a few things. I think he may be bringing up a few things, and we're going to discuss them. And I'm pretty open to a certain extent, but at the same time, for those, a lot of you guys really don't know my viewpoints on things because I am very objective when it comes to a lot of things, and I know sometimes my honesty, and I try to be careful how I present my honesty because a lot of times my honesty, a lot of
It's
people,
brutal.
yeah, no, I try to be careful with it because a lot of people take my honesty as negativity, and I don't mean it in that form or that way because people got to learn to respect everybody's opinion and learn to agree to disagree. You know what I mean? So, um, if somebody presents something to me that um that goes against what I believe, then I'm going to come back and ask a simple question. Okay, why do you believe that? What makes you say that? How do you come up with this? I need to understand their side. So, if I say I don't agree, I'm going to share why I don't agree or what gives me the reasons not to agree. So, it's so that's what we're going to get into, and that's anytime. I'm like that all the time, not just with whoever I'm on the show with, but so, but yeah.
Would Bigfoot kill a bear and eat it? Brittany Anello was asking.
Oh, okay. You know what? That's a good question. In my honest opinion about that, I really think that Bigfoot's all right. One thing I share about there is something I share a lot about when it comes to Bigfoots and bears. One, I believe that Bigfoot's Sasquatch. I believe they follow a pattern that bears work. Um, a lot of times, if you find a location where you're finding all these bear signs, there's a good chance that there's a squatch that works that area too. Although I do believe that this is me. This is just my honest opinion. I do believe that they mind each other's business. They don't interfere with each other. Um, but at the same time, they have, I believe, a lot of the same areas. They work the same areas. And as far as their food diet, I believe they have a very similar and close food diet. Um, although a Sasquatch may eat more meat compared to a bear, like a black bear here in Virginia, black bears they're about 80%, 80-85% vegetarian and only about 20% meat. You know, that's their diet. Now, they're opportunists. They will take advantage of it. If there's meat around, they're gonna jump on it. You know, um, like now a bear, like I said, bears, yeah, they eat a lot of bugs and grubs and insects and vegetation. That's their main diet. Like I just said, a an animal or a creature or a subject such as Sasquatch, um, I believe it requires a lot of calories for they must. I'm assuming, and I believe it's safe to say they may have a larger calorie intake. You know, than we have. They may have to have more, obtain more protein. So they may eat more meat. But at the same time, even though the percentage of their diet compared to a bear is similar, the percentage is going to be off. They do eat around the same things. Unlike any other species like a deer, they're basically vegetarians. So Although there has been, it's crazy, but there's been sightings of deer actually eating birds. I don't know. That's very rare, but so uh let's see. You know what? That's a good question right there. That's a good question. Yeah, you see what Simple's asking? He said, I wonder which human items they actually collect and bring to their home. That's interesting. Um, Especially if like campers leave stuff in the woods. Do they pick stuff up and walk off with it? Now we know birds, crows and magpies. A lot of birds been known to pick up small items to carry off and fly off with stuff. And just leave them there. Um, you know, so yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. Well, I know it's not a question, but that's actually something to think about. That is interesting. Oh, seen Bigfoot home. Saw yellow tree moss spread around. Okay. Woolly Burger Booger said he's seen Bigfoot home. Saw yellow tree moss spread around. Hmm. All right. Oh, and then he said was nothing human there. Oh, okay. I say he's kind of responding to what Simple was saying. So, now I don't believe it's possible. If Bigfoot does take human items and stuff that's been laid around or left out, I mean, it may not be every Sasquatch or all the time. It may be a rare. It may be something rare. Um. All right. All right, Zach. Gotcha. Hold on. Bobcat Wong is messaging me here through Facebook. What's going on here? Multiple studies of the film have suggested that the creature. Oh, this related to the Patterson footage, I think. I'm not going to click and watch it right now. Well, actually, we could watch this through the live chat, I think, but you guys won't be able to hear it. Hey, I'm going to watch this real quick. I'm going to view this for everybody. We got a little short video footage. I don't know if it's audio or what, but stay put real quick, guys. See if I can expand this. All right. I'm going to try to play this video that Bobcat Wong sent to me. And I'm going to try to. I'm assuming that it's something to do with the Patterson footage. All right, hold on. All right. All right. Now, you guys will be viewing this, but I don't think you guys will have the audio on this like I will. All right, hold on. All right, give me a second here. All right, there we go. All right, hold on here. All right, Zach, were you able to watch that video with us?
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty interesting. I
I
know a lot
showed
of us.
that one. I like showing that one in a lot of my lectures.
Yeah. Um. What was interesting about that? I like how right there towards the end, it had the statement on the bottom where it said, multiple studies of the film have suggested that the creature's distinct gait and proportions indicate it is not human. It is not human. I just like hearing that. That's just me. There's a lot of stuff when people look at a lot of Sasquatch, the alleged Sasquatch evidence. There's just a lot of little things, you know, that I don't know. It's just when science does look at something, or a primatologist, if anybody jumps into Sasquatch and looks at something, you know, like a foot cast, for example, you know, the only one that suggests that it may be some type of ancient hominid would be Jeff Meldrum. But all the others are like, looking at it as like, this is not human, but it's more of this kind of, is like, I don't know. I'm not going to get into it right now. But there's all kinds of cool things. Um, let's see. Yeah, I just like that little note that it threw in there. Hold on.
You heard anything from Baltimore yet?
Yeah, he said he had trouble getting on. It was probably because he might have been in a bad area driving home. So, let me get back to the live chat here. All right, Elle says I gotta go. All right, cool. Thanks for coming on. All right. Um, let's see. I know I have a lot of people on here today that wasn't here yesterday. Um, I want to throw it out there for you guys. Just some dates. I do want to remind everybody. September 15th, there's a couple things going on there. They got Medoc Mountain State Park, the third annual Bigfoot in the Park event taking place right down there in North Carolina. Again, that is at Medoc Mountain State Park. It's the third annual Bigfoot in the Park event, September 15th. All right. Originally, I was going to be attending that. Plans changed for the very reason Tracy Arnold. Anybody who follows and knows Tracy Arnold, um, is also a Virginia Bigfooter, researcher, and founder of the New River Valley Bigfoot Research Organization, also the co-founder of the ECBRO. He actually reached out to me concerning a location he's been investigating. And there's one area he is wanting to conduct a mass investigation. He is working on trying to gather out several people to cover over 6 miles of forest, which sounds, I mean, that's a lot. And he is determined for us to have something happen and to get some serious activity. And after he gave me a brief rundown about the location, where there's been sightings there, and people are hearing all kinds of screams and unknown sounds. Um, I'm all about getting more boots on the ground experience, and getting more investigations, under my belt. Because every chance I get, when I take a report, I try to jump on in an investigation. Um, you know, as soon as possible when it comes when it's when I'm able to do it. Because the thing is, the more investigations we go and conduct, that little bit more, we're getting closer to finding something, and we're learning something out of it. We could pick and choose. We could pick bits and pieces out of the story that we gather from the reports. And then we get to go do our boots on the ground field investigation to explore and see what we may come up and find for ourselves to see if there's anything that supports what we're hearing. So these are the kind of things that we like to do, and so instead of going down to North Carolina to speak at an event for one day, I'm going to spend the whole weekend down with Tracy Arnold, September 15th, here in Virginia. Tracy's about 3.5 hours south of me, and he's got a very productive location, and I'll be looking forward to spending time down there with him. And I, he reached out to me to see if I could gather some of the other ECBRO members up this way, or they'll come down there. So, and I reached out to them, and um, we'll see how that goes. Um, so yes, that's happened September 15th and 16th, and let's see. Then what else we got going on from there on after? September 24th, I'll be on the paranormal. I forget the name of it. It's a paranormal radio show. I'll be on. It's a Monday night, September 24th at 8 p.m. I'll give you guys more updates on that later, closer to that date. October 6th, right here in Virginia, the Waynesboro Public Library in Waynesboro, Virginia. I am conducting our annual local seminar. I hold local seminars once a year, apart from our main conference that we now have going on every year. The local seminars, I give a brief presentation, I do a Q&A session, and try to gather information from people willing to share stories if they have a story or a sighting report. So, and so definitely looking forward to that and see what the turnout may be. Jumping ahead to 2019, as far as events that I can speak of right offhand, the E.C.B.R.O. Virginia Bigfoot Con is taking place June 29th and June 30th. Here in Virginia, the venue right now, we're still trying to secure the venue that we're looking at, so more information will follow. And then July 27th in Illinois. Is it Marion, Illinois, Zach?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in Marion, Illinois. Excuse me. I'm going to repeat that. In Marion, Illinois, Zach Sterick is holding the second annual Illinois Bigfoot Con. And what's the name of the library that's taking place at, Zach?
Carnegie Library.
All right, there you go. And so mark your calendars and plan to attend. They're very informative events. These events have people from different walks of life and different viewpoints with their presentations, and they do allow Q&As. And there's a lot to learn, a lot to gain from these events. So definitely check them out. Am I leaving anything out, Zach, that we could be sharing?
I got my lecture in 2 days.
Yeah.
I'll be doing that, broadcasting that live on Facebook and recording.
I'm looking forward to that. So in 2 days, you're talking about what, Saturday?
This Saturday night, I'm going to be doing a lecture at the movie in the park in Creel Springs, Illinois, just down the road here, about 20 miles. They're showing Harry and the Hendersons, and the woman from City Hall gave me a holler on Monday before I went in the hospital, and she said, we're showing Harry and the Hendersons, and I seen where you give that Bigfoot lecture. Would you want to come down and give it? And I said, yeah, sure, I'd be glad to.
Well, I just thought about something. I was wondering if I could suggest something. Now, you were talking about you're going to try to broadcast it live through Facebook, right?
Right.
What if you, since you're using your phone, you're going to be using your phone to do that, right? Okay. What if you were to get on your YouTube channel and go live that way? And that way it'll be just the same as Facebook Live. Except you can still get a broad audience that way, and then that way when it's done, that video footage will be uploaded to your YouTube channel.
Because I've tried doing that on my phone, and my phone won't let me update any of my apps.
Oh man, either
If
you
they
probably need
have
to.
another laptop there that they're going to be showing the movie on, I'll probably just hook up with my flash drive with my presentation to that laptop and just broadcast live on my laptop.
Oh well, yeah, there you go. Yeah, because yeah, if you could do it through your laptop, whatever works. Yeah. Um, yeah. What about a? You don't have a tablet, do you?
I do, but they got it locked up.
They got it locked up.
Yeah, we got a tablet the three of us share, and uh, my little brother's got it locked up in his snack cabinet with a bicycle lock on it.
Oh Lord. Oh Lord. Woolly Burger said, "Walk away from Facebook." Yeah, I will tell you, Facebook has a lot of crap going on with it. I luckily, thank God, I got away from them. They kept shutting me down and locking me out. Yeah, for whatever reasons, but now they've left me alone. Now that's happening to other people all over. So, but um, tell you what, um, Zach, if you don't have anything else to really kind of go over or share, I think we could call it a night.
Yeah, because I got to get up early in the morning. We're going squirrel hunting in the morning.
Okay. All right, cool. I'm gonna go watch some TV. Oh, by the way, I'm watching this new series. I've seen it on Netflix a million times. I finally just started watching it, and it's looking really good. I'm really liking it. It's a Marvel. It's based off a Marvel character, Luke Cage. Are you familiar with that?
Name rings a bell.
Yeah. It's a Marvel series on Netflix. I just started watching it. It's called Luke Cage, and so far it's been turning out to be pretty good. I'm on to like the second or third episode on the first season. And there's only two seasons out right now, but so far it's looking good. So I'm gonna go continue watching that. And but yeah, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, as far as the dates of the events we got going on, as more information is learned, we'll share and remind you guys of these events. Um, I know a lot of YouTubers in the past. Some of you guys that follow me on YouTube have came out to our recent event back in June. Our first annual event took place here, and it was a huge success. There's a lot of people that did not attend that really wish they did after hearing all the feedback and reviews on it.
Yeah,
And
you guys missed out on one heck of a party.
tell you what, it's going to get bigger and better next year. So mark your calendars. We're aiming for June 29th and June 30th. It's right here in the Shenandoah Valley. Like I said, once we get the venue locked down, then we're gonna start going from there. Because I've already been in contact and reached by one of our one of our big attendees that came from Ohio. Her and her family. She actually reached out to me recently again because she is already wanting to make two different donations and she wants to help sponsor the event, which is awesome. But we're going to be reaching out. We're going to be looking for other sponsors, and she's even going to help look for other sponsors for the event. And because I already filled her in on some details of where I'm looking at to have the venue that we're trying to get, and all this good stuff. So yeah, once we learn more information, because we're going to have vendors again. We had some awesome vendors this year, and
Yeah,
so so
especially Tasty Treats and Sooners Barbecue.
yeah, and I think we're gonna try to get a little bit more another variety in there too. You know, we're gonna play it by ear and see how it goes.
I'm actually
And
debating on coming back out there just to eat some of them hamburgers and drink some of that lemonade. Oh my god, that was the best food I've ever ate in my freaking life. If they had chicken and dumplings, I would be moving in with you and saying, "Feed me this every day."
oh Lord, well check this out. If we get this venue that we have, they do allow alcohol to be served in there because they have too many bars in their conference room.
No, you do not. You know how I get whenever I get drunk. No, I flirt with everybody at the table, and I'm laying against the table or hanging off the table.
Oh Lord.
You
So,
remember that? You remember you in Baltimore had to pretty much carry me out of the place.
yeah, because the people that attended the event came from all over the United States. Well, we had people from the West Coast, California, Washington State. Our speaker, Baltimore came up from Texas. Uh, Zach was our MC, came all the way out from Illinois, and the She Squatchers came out from South Dakota,
Mm-mm.
whatever.
Minnesota and North Dakota.
Yeah, Minnesota, North Dakota. We had a large group of people from Ohio. We had the Ohio Night Stalkers, Susie Jane and her family. Uh, we had several come up from North Carolina.
We had
Uh,
a heck of a turnout from Georgia and Virginia.
yeah. Oh man, you know what? We had a lot of locals that showed up and were blown away. I had locals coming up to me at the end of the second day and said, "This was amazing. I hope you guys do this again next year." I said, "You can count on it." So I mean, I'm glad the locals really enjoyed it. That made me feel good, So and the review, the comment that was left on a website regarding our event on West Germer's Sasquatch Chronicles website, that guy said our event was better, and this is to me was big. This guy said our event was better than the Ohio Bigfoot Conference.
Yes.
That blew my cookies. I'll tell you what, that was awesome.
You're starting to sound like Fred.
Yeah, I know, right? So,
If that one review does not make you guys want to come out for the for E.C.B.R.O. Bigfoot Con numero dos, you guys have got something wrong with you. You guys need to get out there ASAP, Jack.
and I think what a lot of people enjoyed is just finally, a lot of them really enjoyed alone, just meeting their fellow friends that they've only known online. They got to meet people in person for the first time that they only chatted with online, and people got to share stories with one another. I've had people come to my booth and ask questions and share bits and pieces of information, stories, things they've heard in the local areas, which was awesome, and that's what I want. And and then we got people there that attend our events that want to hear your stories, like Blue Ridge Bigfoot. Mike, he interviewed a few people, and Blue
Interviewed
Ridge
me and
Bigfoot.
Mom.
Yeah, you can find Blue Ridge Bigfoot on YouTube. Look up Blue Ridge Bigfoot on YouTube. He's got a lot of great stories and interviews, and you'll find Zach. You'll find several others on there that you know. Uh, I know he's recently he's working on getting me on there to share some information and stories to it. So yeah, check out Blue Ridge Bigfoot and tell him that Daniel Benoit and Zach Sterrick sent you. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah. But meanwhile, ladies and gentlemen, you guys have a great night, and I'll be back tomorrow night here live at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8 p.m. Central. Guys, have a good night and God bless.